guard by the issues with the storm today. I mentioned in the part 1 of this stream that there's, a little bit of weather today, so my video might get cut off again. But anyway, I was asked in the previous live by someone whom I don't remember the username of. Um, they said something like, "I heard that hair dye damages your hair really badly. Please tell me it's not true," or whatever. So I don't avoid damaging my hair. First and foremost, you must understand. Like, I style my hair with a lot of hairspray. I do back combing to make it look bigger and more scruffy or layered or whatever, depending on the look I'm going for. But generally, it's just, you must understand. I don't go out of my way to not damage my hair. So if you're basing that assumption off of my specific appearance, then it's probably not something you should worry about as much. Um, Hair dye does damage your hair, but like, it's just, it's probably not as big of a deal as you think it is if you're worried that you don't want to look like me. You won't if you don't do what I do. If you don't use a lot of hairspray and you don't like, back comb your hair to make it look big and frizzy and stuff, then you won't have to worry about that. Um but if you do, then yeah, you probably will damage your hair a lot. And that's just, that's a risk you have to take. Um and yeah, hair dye does damage your hair a little bit. It does do that. In all fairness, like if you want to look like you have very healthy hair, then yeah, you know, watch out. Um, anyway, I'm really sorry that the live got cut off the first time. I had no control over that. Just the weather, interrupted it. Um, it's very annoying, but I do see that the previous live stream was just automatically uploaded to my channel, which is very convenient because I was worried that I would lose the footage, which is not what I wanted to happen. So at the very least, it paid off in that regard. Um, I hope that people will come back because I meant for this to be longer. Like, the first video is about, it's like less, it says it's like an hour long, and then like you click on it, and then it's only like 46 minutes long, so, I think there's a little bit of a technical issue there regarding the display, but I know that has to do with like the fact that, it carried out for a longer time. Like um, once I got knocked off the stream, like it just kind of kept recording even though it wouldn't let me back in, so it just has to do with that, um, regarding the time difference. Please come back. I'm ready to have more people come back, please. I looked up the acronym um that someone said in a previous comment. WAGAB. No, WABAG. That I got a few results. One of them said that that's like a place in a certain country. I can't remember which country it was. And then another one said that it was like an acronym that means "will always be a gem." So yeah, I guess it's either an acronym or a place name, but it was in all caps, so I assume it was the acronym "will always be a gem." I assume you referring to me, which I appreciate. But if I misunderstood the meaning of this phrase, I apologize. Um, I'm gonna have a little bit of a drinkage at this time, you know? I did get to pee. I will say this, you know, it was mentioned in the previous live that I was holding in pee. This is true. And since I got cut off, I was able to pee. So when it comes down to it, all's well that ends well. But now I'm gonna drink more of the caffeinated beverage so as to, like, you know, undo the progress that many have, like, worked towards for all the zillions of years and all that. I'm exaggerating the severity of it because it's fun. Um, you know. Yes, yes, there are terrible consequences for drinking things. Oh, sometimes you have to pee, other times you have seizures. But you didn't know about that one. I don't think. Yeah, caffeine doesn't give me seizures, but still, you know. You can never be too careful. Dally says, "We're so back, and I missed the beginning of being so back." It's alright, Dally. It's not your fault. I'm glad you're here. You're the first one to show up, so, you know, you're ahead of the rest, at the very least. You're ahead of the rest, at the very least, yes, yes. Um, I hope that the storm doesn't knock me out again. I assume it very much easily could, you know, I am at the mercy of the elements. But, yeah. Dally says, I'm ahead. You are ahead. You're a head and a torso and a couple of arms and legs. You know, a human. That kind of thing. I'm so funny. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry about that. Dally says, very funny, tee hee. Thank you. I, I like to have fun around here. We like to have fun around here, don't we? Yes. My cup looks kind of gross. Please ignore that. I mean, you can't because I drew attention to it. See, that's what we in the biz like to call self-sabotage. Okay? I do it habitually. I put the bitch in habitually. I don't even know why. Dally says that's a big cup. It certainly is, you know? It certainly is. I, yeah. it's, you know, so that I can drink a lot of caffeine. Dally says I gained a bowl of sweet peas while you were gone. That's fantastic. Oh, there's machinery whirring in the background if you can hear that. My apologies. It is a blender. Yeah, it's very nice, Dally. I'm glad you had some sweet peas. That's a food. I don't eat peas unless they're in stuff. I don't just eat them by themselves. Not a fan personally, but more power to you if you enjoy that kind of snack. That's very good. It's a healthy snack, I think. Deli says they're my fave food. Very yum. That's great. Um, it's that's good. I admire people who enjoy vegetables that much. I, for example, I think artichokes are the spawn of the devil or something. Deli says my cat likes them too. Um, Your cat is a freak. Just kidding. I know a lot of cats who like vegetables. They might be like, you know, cat them. And I eat a lot of vegetables these days. I really try to get my vegetables, but that was not the case for most of my life. Dally agrees that artist Dumb E307 says, "I love your hair." Thank you. I appreciate that. I like my hair too. The stream was kind of started with me more or less trashing my hair because I had to emphasize that, you know, it's damaged. It's physically damaged. But you know, nevertheless, I don't really mind that. I kind of like how it looks. It's got like a red, white, and blue motif going on at the moment. There is black at the bottom though, because I think that darker colors, they kind of I think they look good on my hair, you know. This the dumb underscore E307 says, "I really like your videos too. You are really cool." Thank you so much. Oh man, I appreciate that. No, I think you're very cool. You know, I may not know you personally, but you seem well intentioned and I appreciate the kindness, the gestures, the thoughts. What can I say? It's really it's a joy. It's a joy. Um It's 4:08. I think either my sister just came home or she's going to come home soon, but no one's talking, which is good, I guess, because you know, there's no interruptions. This is around the time she would come home from work, so you know, I'm anticipating like any kind of disruption that could occur. One must be on top of things, you see. One must be in control. Yes. Anyway, I've got a shaved eyebrow. That's a thing I've got. I'm oh, I've got this cube. Let's talk about my cube. Um that's so freaking cool, says the dumb underscore E307 person. I'm not sure if you're referring to my eyebrow or my cube, but either way, thank you, I agree. Yeah, this is a cube I've got. Check out my cube. Isn't this so cool? Oh, they say both. So you mean, yeah, you like the eyebrow and the thing. Thank you. You know, you've got good taste. This is a fun geometric toy. You can play with it. Dally says, "I love your cube." Thank you. I got it as a Christmas present. Oh my god, Mr. Llama says, "I got a cube like that for Christmas 2024." Dude, I think I got mine Christmas, like, I want to say like 2023 or something. Maybe 2022. You know, it was a year or two ago. I don't know. Time is just unfathomable, man. I just play with cubes. All I do is cubes. I love cubes. But only like... Oh yes, Dally says, "Hey, it's not a cube anymore." Right, that's the thing about it. It's like magic. It changes, you know. It's a fantastic toy. You can really fiddle with it, and it just looks so neat. Look at this shit. That's very appealing. Y'all know this appeals to my sensibilities in particular. Yes, yes. Dally says, "Magic! Happy face." Indeed, it's a very powerful little thing. You know? Captivates the senses. Now, this is a Q&A, so... I don't know. This is what I do when I don't know what else to do. I just be like, remember what is supposed to be happening right now? You have to ask questions and I have to give answers. But, like, honestly... I think I'm just a bit hypervigilant sometimes, but, like, nothing is actually out of place right now. We're having a good time, aren't we? You know? I feel sometimes like kind of caught between a desire for spontaneity and like a sort of desire for cohesion and uniformity, you know. But anyway, yeah. Deli says, "Hey, yeah, questions. It's a Q&A," but they spelled it like CUE and AYE. Very funny. Yes, you with your little jokes. Yes, It's just so cool. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what? How does it do that? It's like a magical thing. Anthony's back. Hello, Anthony. Anthony says, "I love your glasses. You look nice today." Thank you so much. I used to not wear my glasses that much because I didn't really feel like I needed them in terms of functionality, and I kind of preferred to keep them off because this is true, this is a true thing about me. I didn't want to wear my glasses because I felt like they contradicted like the toughness of some of my like punk looks and stuff. So I would avoid them unless they worked with like a hippie look. And that's kind of silly, but it's true. And now I have to I prefer to wear my glasses because I have issues with like visual distortions and, you know, hallucinations. Not in a major way these days, but still it is like um it is a recurring issue, you know, manageable, but still I feel more inclined to wear my glasses because it keeps me more in control. It makes me feel more in control of like, you know, my grip on reality. If I have them off, it's just like everything looks more blurry and the static. I see static often. I've been told by people sometimes when I open up about this issue, you know, that like everyone sees static, or that at the very least it's rather common, and I believe that. But it's just that for me it's like hard to ignore, and it can be like overwhelming. It can be accompanied with like physical buzzing sensations in my head or ringing in my ears, and the severity of the visual the visual stimuli, or well, not stimuli, but distortion or hallucination, it correlates with like, you know, the level of like ringing or buzzing feelings. So it's like these things are connected and they are unusual, and that's why I wear my glasses more now. um Corey Minnick says, "You're back." Oh, and Dally said, "I love the magicness of the cube." Yes, indeed. It's wonderful. Corey Minnick says, "You're back." Yes, I am back. I had an issue with the weather. The weather made my internet go out, and I had to just wait for the previous stream to end. I couldn't even manually end it myself. It kind of just timed out eventually because I couldn't get back in for the life of me. But it's all good, you know. The video uploaded itself to YouTube, like just automatically. So, you know, it works. It was frustrating, but everything's pretty much fine now. Mr. Llama says, "I also see static, especially when I look into the dark." Yes, I've noticed as well that, like, it tends to be more pronounced in the dark, and the problem with that is that, like, you know, when I go to bed, you know, I like to go to bed at night because the human body is designed to do that, but that's when I see the static more, and it's, like, troubling because, um, it you know, it can be kind of scary, you know, if I already feel a little on edge, which is not uncommon for me, and then I've also got like that weird shit happening with my eyes. It's a little off-putting, you know, and it can make it hard to rest, and it can make it hard to function even if I don't see anything all that scary. There are times where I look back and I don't really know what was real and what wasn't. You know, if you've stuck around on the channel, you would know that I have had very scary experiences with, losing my senses and essentially losing my grip on reality. Um, but that's not what's happening so much nowadays. I just worry that it'll happen again, and that itself is very troubling. Anyway, Corey Minnick says, I don't have visual or auditory. I smell phantom smells, and sometimes it feels like things are crawling, touching me. That's, that's troubling. That's very troubling. I don't experience those things. Um, I am very sensitive to touch well, sometimes, yeah. Like, yeah, these days I feel like my senses are like, they're more sensitive, for lack of a better term. It's like I feel more alive, but not necessarily in a good way. It's kind of overwhelming. Anyway, I'm very sorry that that happens to you, Corey. That does sound stressful. The smells, maybe not so much, unless they're unpleasant or something. I mean, but at the same time, if you smell burning toast, that would be very scary. I would be like, oh, am I gonna die? If you, if you smell burning, if you smell burning toast, you're having a stroke or overcooking your toast. Bo Burnham reference. I don't know. Sorry. I thought I would know the lyrics. I think that's the lyrics. Um, Andrew Nader says, I love your necklace. Welcome back, Sydney. Thank you. Thank you. I've got two necklaces on. This one, it's got a couple of zippers and a little teacup on a saucer. And this one, this is like a little thing for vaccinate. It says vaccinated against rabies. It's from a military base. It's from 1969. Nice, yeah. It's for dogs. It's a dog tag. So yeah, it's like both like from the military, which it's like dog tags, that the soldiers wear, but it's specifically for a dog. It's very funny. Um, Dally says, I only have auditory. I suppose you're speaking in regards to hallucinations. That can be still very troubling. I've heard there have been a couple times where I've heard voices, I think. I mean, yeah, I know I have, but they were never like discernible really. Well, this depends on where I draw the line, because there were times I literally don't know what was real and what wasn't, but there were times where I kind of felt in touch with reality and still had like auditory hallucinations, and they would be like voices, but like never anything I could discern, and that was good because I think when people hear voices that they can hear, they can interpret, and uh everything, it can be rather distressing. um Corey Minnick says it's from bipolar with psychotic features in regards to the phantom smells and feeling like things are crawling or touching him. Okay. I'm sorry about that, Corey. I uh I I'm sorry, I'm struggling to talk. So yeah, I was what is it? It was speculated that I might have schizoaffective disorder, but I don't know that I was officially diagnosed. I was on antipsychotics for a bit, that is Abilify, but I'm off of it now. Dally says that I'm kind of dog-coded. Dally, I'm more of a cat person, but I feel like, sometimes a bit dog-like in a way. But I do prefer cats generally. I've always been that way. I've never had a dog. And I just think cats are a bit cuter. That's just a personal thing. It's not like I think, objectively. I kind of hate it when people fight over animals. Like, you can just like different animals. It's not a big deal. Um, but maybe it's just because I haven't moved on since elementary, and that I peaked in elementary, which I did. I peaked in elementary. Someone said, Evelyn Lopez said, I like your shirt. Thank you. This is Pink Floyd. This is Pink Floyd. That's my favorite band. I'm a punk, but my favorite band is Pink Floyd. It's a long story. Don't tell anyone. Don't even tell yourself. Deli says, mine mostly consist of voices and, like, sort of banging sounds. That's a bit scary. I'm sorry about that, Dali. Evelyn Lopez says, and I like your glasses. Thank you so much. I prefer rounded ones because they make me feel like I'm in a vintage time, such as the 60s, mayhaps the 70s. These are probably not authentically so, but they don't... It's not easy to get, like, the free government-issued glasses in exactly my style, so I just have to settle for what I can get. And, yeah, I really prefer, like, the 60s and 70s, but particularly the 60s. That's my favorite decade. This just, I'm very fixated on that, you know? Not because of, like, wanting to go back and undo the progress that has been, you know, that has occurred since then, but just that, you know, aesthetically and stuff, it was a very interesting time. Dally says, I had a few dogs before, but now I have none and 9 cats. Wow! 9 cats is a lot. Wow. Evelyn Lopez says, can't have cats because my mom is allergic. That's unfortunate. Corey Minnick says, and by the way, fun fact, I'm a bit allergic to dogs, or at least I have been in the past. I don't know if that still occurs, because I know sometimes allergies kind of diminish with time, but it was a thing for me for a while. Yeah, so Corey Minnick says, that's where I'm right at the edge of schizoaffective. It goes bipolar with psychotic features, then schizoaffective, which is bipolar and schizophrenia, dual diagnosis. Yeah, it was explained to me more or less like that. I understand. Evelyn Lopez says, me too. I'm not quite sure what you mean in regards to that. Perhaps the allergy thing. That was what I was talking about before, so it might be in regards to that. Corey Minnick says, I'm on Caplita 21 milligrams. I'm not on anything except a little bit of tea. I had some black tea. I put 3 tea bags in there, and it kind of just keeps me going for a bit. I didn't get much sleep last night. A little bit, but not what I would prefer. You know, I'll tell you something. I've been keeping this to myself for the past 4 minutes. You know, right now where I'm at, right? It's 4:24 p.m. I'll tell you a secret about me. So ever since I was a little kid, right? I had like a friend. I had a friend. I won't. It doesn't really. For the sake of for the sake of the story, it doesn't matter that I tell much about this particular friend or what their name is or anything. But I had a friend, and we had a little like joke, an inside joke, where every time it was 4:20 p.m. or a.m. I guess, but we didn't really we were kids, so we weren't often awake at 4:20 p.m. or I mean a.m. Anyway, right, we would do like pretend like we were smoking weed, you know, and that was the joke, right? But ever since then, I always I always do that. When it's 4:20, I always do the little smoke weed thing, or I actually smoke weed in real life because yeah. But no, just kidding. I don't do that. I didn't say that just now. That was a joke. That was only for the meme, and I totally don't actually do that. But anyway, you know, yeah. So, but mostly I just like pretend, and like the fact that I couldn't do it just now was kind of irritating, you know? I could have done it, but then I would have to be like, well, guys, this is what I'm doing, and I do it because I don't know. But yeah, like sometimes, yeah. I've got little rituals that I do. Um, there's this other one that I stopped doing, but I don't really want to talk about that one because it's not as funny. It's very depressing to know the backstory behind that, so. Anyway, Dally's, oh, this, anyway, Idiot Friend says Wumbo. Yes, Wumbo, I know this is, you know, the study of wombology, um, the study of Wumbo, you know, I get it, yeah, SpongeBob. Dally says, my mum and sorta sis always hit their pens at 4:20. Ah, yes. Fair enough. I mean, you know, the thing about, the thing about chemical use is that it often lends itself to rituals and stuff. Although if you let it get out of hand, then you'll just be doing it whenever, and that's how addictions go. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Evelyn Lopez says why. I'm going back. I don't know why you said why. Can you explain what you mean by why? I want you to elaborate on what you mean. Like, what are you asking? Idiot Friend says, yes, my name is actually an obscure SpongeBob reference. So you're saying your name is Wumbo? Is that what you mean to tell me? Am I misunderstanding something here? Is this? I mean, I don't mean to judge. Perhaps it is of international origin. In which case, that's cool. But I'm genuinely confused here, right? Is your name Wumbo? Idiot Friend says no, my username. So, Idiot Friend, yes. So is it in regards to Patrick? He was the idiot friend on SpongeBob, right? I mean, SpongeBob was also kind of idiot coded, but still, I mean, Patrick was supposed to be the dumber one. Dally says Wumbo would be a cool ass name, low key. You know, it would. It would. Why not? Why not? You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Da, da, da. A walk right in, it's around the back. It's just a half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Yeah, it's a song. Idiot Friend says, Pest of the West episode, they sing a song about idiot friends. Well, I'm glad that you clarified. I don't really remember that one all that well. There's been many SpongeBobs. I have a pretty good memory of SpongeBob episodes because that was my favorite show for a while, that when I was a kid that was basically my favorite cartoons. So, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that I don't exactly remember the detail you're referring to. It must really be an obscure SpongeBob reference because I don't remember. And so, yeah. Dally says, kinda odd thing to say, but you have a very nice face shape. Thanks. You know, I'm glad that you think that. I can be I'm quite vain, and it's kind of irritating, but I do think that my facial structure is rather nice. It could be better, but at the end of the day, I can't deny that, it's pretty cool. I think, yeah. And I don't think it's weird that you said that either. I appreciate this compliment. Um Idiot Friend says it's the cowboy episode where they are in Bikini Gulch and SpongeBuck has to save the town from Deadeye Deadeye Plankton. That seems vaguely familiar. Um Janice Janice Madeline Swift says, "Hi, me, Janice, beautiful, lovely, gorgeous trans woman." Indeed, it's very nice to see you, Janice. I'm so glad you could drop in. Um, Corey Minnick says, I have also said you had nice facial structure." Well, thank you, Corey. I appreciate it. Um, it's a pleasure. I'm very very glad to be admired in such a way. Um, Janice Madeline Swift says, "Yes, you look just as good as I do." I agree. I think we're quite blessed as trans people. It's good to be, you know, it's good to be how do I put it? Confident in ourselves and our appearances because we have a lot of pressure from society to kind of hate our bodies and ourselves because, we don't conform to the expectations of cis het society. So, you know, it's very meaningful and important to stay strong in face of, the adversities and such. Evelyn Lopez says, "I know that one. I think you're referring to the episode, the SpongeBob episode. Um, I, I don't. I wish I knew. I feel like kind of out of touch right now, and it's like, yeah, man, you kids and your cartoons. I only watch war footage." It's a reference to like a video I saw recently with Danny Gonzalez. If you know, you know. You know? Yeah, and just like that, I'm back on top. Yeah, because I know about Danny Gonzalez. So y'all know about SpongeBob, but me, I know about Danny Gonzalez. Whoa. So just consider that. Evelyn Lopez says, "I forgot that one, but I do know what it's called." Dally says, "Danny Mansion." Um, yeah. Da 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 da. I'm opening up a. Wait, no, that would be stupid. Wait, no, it's not. Yeah, I'm trying to like turn on my other computer. Wait, no. Sorry, that was stupid actually. I was gonna turn on my laptop so I could see what time it is so that I didn't have to check on my like phone screen, but then I've got an alarm clock in my room at the moment and it has got the time right there. Do you guys know how it is? I hope you don't. Please don't know about me. I'm very ashamed. ah, ah. Anyway, um, there's little hearts appearing on the screen. Am I meant to, trust this notion? This, like, you know, expression of affection? Is that what you expect of me? Dally says, "In another world, you're a tabby resting on a brick wall." Pink Floyd reference? All in all, you're just another cat on the wall. I agree. I've always identified with the Siamese cats. That's my favorite type of cat. I was always as a kid very obsessed with Siamese cats in particular. That was my favorite breed of cat. Um and then I got into Pink Floyd and Sid Barrett. And Sid Barrett, he made this song called Lucifer Sam, and it's about a Siamese cat, and it's like it was kind of like, whoa, he likes what I like. And I've got a little thing. I'll show you. I'll show. Where is my thing? I don't know where my thing is. It's a toy. I'm looking for it. Every second that goes by, every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes. Oh, I found it! Dally says, "You kinda look like a Siamese slash pos, as in positive." I appreciate that, but I don't really agree because they have, like, features that I don't have, such as blue eyes and stuff. I don't really want blue eyes. Here's a fun fact about me. I wished when I was a little kid that I had blue eyes, but now I think that darker eyes are quite lovely. Um, so, it kind of just, you know, one change is over time. Um, anyway, this is my little guy. This is the God Baby. This creature is known as the God Baby. Um, it's somewhere in between like a baby Jesus and a what's it called? a Lovecraftian horror, in terms of both character and physicality. It just seems to me to be like, a very charming creature of unknowable power. Um, this is the God Baby. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, yeah. Evelyn Lopez says, I have brown eyes. That's fantastic. I think that brown eyes are very pretty. I think that, when it comes down to it, what I've noticed is that the beauty of eyes often has less to do with, I adorable in regards to my god baby. My little god baby. Yes, yes, thank you. Um, Mr. Llama says, I remember seeing a YouTube short you made on that. I would say it is my favorite of your YouTube shorts. This guy? You saw the short about this guy? If you mean that, and thank you. I'm glad to hear it. Um, Dowley says, what a rodent looking thing. You think this looks like a rodent? It kind of does, but I think of it as more like a worm, like a cat worm. That's just me though. You can, I mean, really it's a god baby, so, consider that. Evelyn Lopez says, I wish I could have that. Love that so much. Thank you. So, this is one of a kind. This is something that someone made. My sister got it at Renaissance Fair, so, there's just no way you could have it. I mean, there's only one of this, so, don't beat yourself up about it. It's impossible. I'm the only one who has it. And you're welcome, as well. I know that that's in regards to when I said, brown eyes are pretty and all that, basically, and yeah, you're welcome. Then there's like things about the video going wrong. Yeah, I know. And then idiot friend says that's not a rodent. I agree. I don't think that my creature is a rodent. I didn't think so. Idiot friend says, fun fact, rabbits used to be considered rodents. Like scientifically even. I think that's interesting. And then Dally says rabbits are rabbits not rodents? And then idiot friend says no they aren't. And then Dally's like, what? Okay, so where I stand on this is like, my mom knows a lot about biology. When I was growing up, she was a biology teacher, and she taught in high school. She taught high schoolers, and I think she a little bit taught middle schoolers as well. But she really hated it. She ended up quitting that after a while. But I grew up with like an uncommonly fleshed out kind of knowledge of biology and evolution and stuff. So I was always aware that rabbits weren't rodents. Like I kind of just knew. But I think that a lot of people don't know that. I think they don't know that that is technically, yeah, like they look like rodents because they've got the teeth. They got those like big front teeth, and that's a common feature with rodents. But no, they're just not categorically rodents, and that's true. I did not know that they used to be considered that in the scientific context, but it's believable to me. I think that the way animals were understood was not, it's just as science goes along, you figure things out over time. So it makes sense, I guess, that people used to think of them as rodents when, because like I think the further you go back, they kind of just thought of it more in terms of physicality, and that's why sometimes like whales and dolphins were considered fish, for example, or believed or referred to as fish, basically, even though they're mammals and are actually quite different from fish, just because they look a bit fish-like. So, yeah. Idiot friend says middle school sucks, can confirm. It was very bad. Yes. Bryston Crayley says, what animals do you have? Well, I have 2 cats at my house. They are 2 black and white cats. They are sisters. One of them is named Veruca, and one of them is named Violet, and they are named after, the characters on, like, Willy Wonka. The Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, Charlie and Chocolate Factory, thing. So that's how it is. I didn't name them. My dad, he named them. Yeah, that's their names. We had a 3rd cat named Charlie. He was a little black cat. He was their brother, but he didn't make it. because they were a bit territorial, and like he would run away, like he would try to get out of the house to avoid like fighting with the sisters, and that's kind of what I think he died. I wasn't there because I was living in another house at the time, but yeah, he died or just went missing, and yeah, that's that. I'm sorry to depress everyone, but that's true. That's true. Um um Deli says Willy Wonka. Yes. Idiot Friend says such a great movie. Yeah, yeah. Pretty cool stuff. Idiot Friend says the soundtrack is part of my hype playlists. Very interesting. Hype playlist. Um, that's cool. I like movie soundtracks as well. I enjoy the soundtrack to Oliver, the musical from 1968 specifically. I've got that on record. I've got a record of that. I have a record player. I don't use it much, but I enjoy having it. It's something that I enjoy having. I haven't used it recently because it's on a high, it's up high on like a shelf, and I also just I don't have many outlets available, like physical outlets I could plug it into. So it's kind of just a matter of convenience, but I really enjoy having a record player and having my records. Um, I think I'm at odds with, possessions because I think truly it's good to not rely too much on like physical objects for your happiness and stuff, but there is something rather special to me about having a record player and physical records because I'm very drawn to like times before the internet, honestly. I think it's common with Gen Z that we romanticize and dream and yearn for a time before all of this stuff. Which, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Um, Idiot Friend says, the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory intro, especially, like, it's so good. I don't really know exactly what you mean by that one. Um, which one is the intro? I don't really know. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. Corey Minnick says, I heard it sometimes sounds better on vinyl. Um, I don't know exactly what you're referring to. Um, like, what do you mean by it? Any specific soundtrack? Um, maybe the intro that Idiot Friend was referring to. I feel bad calling them Idiot Friend, but that's their username, so yeah. um, by the way, I want to set a boundary here. I have to end this stream by 5 o'clock. I mean, that's funny to call it a boundary. That's a misuse of the term, but you know, yeah, we're gonna set a little bracket here. I have to end it at 5 o'clock because I'm worried about getting cut off by the rain again, and the storms. So, in order to avoid any further headaches regarding that, it's 4:49 right now, so we've got about 11 minutes. So, just um stand by, will you? I would appreciate it. Um, and that'll be the end of the stream then, and we'll have, two parts. We'll have two parts, and that'll be it. You know, you gotta, you gotta just do what you gotta do. And it's a little bit stormy today. Alright. Idiot Friend, oh, I already read that? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I read those already. Okay. Mr. Llama says, I got a record player and records back in Christmas 2021 as well as early 2022. That's good. I'm curious, what records did you get? What music do you like, Mr. Llama? You've been a very interesting figure to me, kind of mysterious, and I would like to know what interests you. Um, I'm glad that you like these things like I do. I mean, I assume that if you were gifted those those particular items, you must kind of have uh affection for retroness and vintage stuff as well, which is good. I enjoy these things. I like to be a time traveler. What kind of music do you like, Mr. Llama? You know me, I like rock. Rock is my favorite. I like rock in general, and then rap is like my second favorite when it comes to the main genres. I don't listen to, well, I kind of have a diverse, um, taste in music, but obviously a lot of it is like psychedelic rock and like, Punk rock, I enjoy that very much. Um, and I like pop music a bit as well, but like I'm kind of picky about it. Like it's got to be pop music that's for people who don't like pop music or something like that. Like I'm very picky when it comes to truly mainstream stuff. But of course I still leave room for it. I still leave room for it. I'm not really against. Well, it's complicated. In the past, I was concerned with being taken seriously, so that's why I'm kind of averted to things one could call trendy, you know, which is ironic because when it comes down to it, I still like a lot of trendy things. I mean, I enjoy meme culture and I enjoy pop culture in many instances, but I've been concerned with being serious and above others. This is true. I in the past wanted that very deeply, and it shows kind of. It kind of shows, and it's embarrassing, but true. This is true. Dally says, I'm a hyperpop girly. That's fantastic. I think hyperpop is a very interesting phenomenon in the world. I know that 20, no, I was mixing them up with 21 Pilots. 100 Gex I know is a very famous hyperpop uh group, and I have friends who like that group, and I like them too. I like that there's a trans woman in 100 Gex because I'm trans, and I think it's wonderful to see other you know queer and trans people succeed, and yeah, it's beautiful. Um, and see what the art that they create. It can be very interesting. Mr. Llama says, most of the music I listen to is typically a mix of electronic, industrial, Eurodance, and experimental. It typically ranges from the mid 1960s as well as the very early 1990s. That's very interesting. That sounds very cool. I'd love to, it would be nice to, exchange that. I'm very, some of that stuff I don't really know about. I don't know. They're very. Sorry, I don't know what to say. Some of those like categories seem more vast and other ones seem more specific. I couldn't exactly imagine what specific bands you would listen to, but just it seems like a cool like uh types of things. Sorry. I'm sorry. Dally says 100 gex heart emoji emoticon thing. Yes, I'm aware of them. They they're on my radar. I think I might have heard like a song or two by them. It's not really necessarily for me. I think in an alternate universe I could be very interested in 100 gex, but in this one I kind of appreciate them from afar. So, yeah. Um, but I respect the scene and I think it's very cool. I just like it when art gets weird. I like it when music gets weird. Um, you know, it's cool. I think creativity is wonderful, and I enjoy art that kind of pushes the boundaries and stuff. Some people, they roll their eyes at that sort of thing because, why are you trying so hard? It'll make you seem like a tryhard, basically. But in truth, I think, art should be ever changing because humanity is ever changing, and it's interesting to see forms of art and music that are kind of challenging or unique, and that just it sticks out. Um, Mr. Llama says examples of artists slash bands I listen to include Cabaret Voltaire, Clock DVA, Amon Duel 2, Jan Hammer, and Jim Kirkwood. My apologies if I've mispronounced any of those. I've not heard of any of them, and that's very interesting. You might be kind of more hip than me, Mr. Llama. Uh, wow. Jeez. That's pretty cool. I don't know about any of those. They sound very interesting. I don't, I, I'm, yeah, you, you listen to cool music, I think. I don't know of any of it, but it's not something I know about, and for that reason, the mysteries are very appealing. Just for a heads up now, we've only got 3 minutes left. Make it count, folks. I'm gonna head out, Gotta make this count, alright? If you've got anything else to say or ask, the bring your purchases up to the front. We will be closing in 3 minutes, 2 minutes now. Oh, oh, ah. Nobody wants to say anything. They hate me. Oh, my dad's laughing in the background. I suppose he's watching a very funny video. The frequencies. Sometimes I can hear and I can tell when it's my voice in the other room. Sometimes it kind of sounds the frequencies of my voice. So it might be that he's watching me right now, like my previous stream. I don't know if that's true, but I suspect that it is. Gasp. He says he is watching me. Okay. Now I know. Well, it's like time has like transcended the times, He's watching me in the past, in the present, being recorded in the present, to be shipped off for the future. Wow, it is as though everything is everything, and crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. Yes. Yeah, there's about 1 minute left and no one's saying anything, so, I'm just, sorry the last few minutes of this are kind of weird and all over the place, but, I thought that wrapping everything up nice and cleanly would be a good idea, so as to avoid any, like, terrible interruptions. I hate interruptions! Okay, it's 5 p.m. Oh! Mr. Llama says, nice live stream today. See you in the meantime. Thank you, Mr. Llama. I have to go. See you later, tiny friendos. You're very sweet. Have a nice day. How do I end it? Just click the X? I suppose I'll just, click the X.